A very good morning, dear class 7, and welcome back in our social science class. This is Shashi, your social science teacher. Today we are going to start a new block 3, and the name of this block is Islam and its impact. And we will learn in this block about the advent of Islam. So before starting this block and lesson plan 1, first quickly we will revise our previous blocks. As we have learned in block 2 about the decline of the Roman Empire, we have learned internal and external threats that weakened the Roman Empire and causes for fall of empire. We have learned the rising authority of the church in Europe, the nature of feudal society, and about the life of monks and nuns. We have learned the significance of monasteries and its contribution in medieval Europe. And we have learned in the Crusades section about the purpose of crusades and impact of crusades on Europe. Now tell me children, which religion did we learn in the previous blocks? Do you know? I think you have the answer. We have learned about the Christianity. So what do you think that new religious practice can help solve problems in society? Sometimes it may be useful. New religions can sometimes be useful to sort out social problems that might be affecting people's lives negatively. Now, so tell me children, name any two religions which profess monotheism. Monotheism, it means those who believe in one God. So name any two religions. Do you know? I think you know. Christianity and Islam, they are the two religions which profess monotheism. So I think all of you know what we are going to learn in this lesson. Our aim of today's learning is to know about the advent of Islam. So get ready with your workbook, notebook and content book. Also take stationery. What is required? Keywords of today's lesson is, first word is polytheistic. It means belief in or worship of more than one God. Next word is monotheistic. It means believing in one God, as I told you. And the next word is idolatrous. It means worshipping an idol. So those who believed in many gods and idol worship, they are called idolaters. So today we will learn about the advent of Islam in the Middle East. Now children, pause the video, read the section Advent of Islam. After reading the section, come back and join me again, because you have one table that you have to copy it in your notebook. So copy this table in your notebook, read the section, then write answer of this table. You have to fill this table. First is cause for unrest in society. The society was divided into clans or tribes who fought each other, who fought continuously, they fought for resources. And the second is features of pre-Islamic religion. So, religion in pre-Islamic Arabia was polytheistic and idolatrous. And the third one is significance of Muhammad's divine revelation. As when he was meditating, he experienced a vision of the Archangel Gabriel, who declared Muhammad to be the prophet of God. And after the revelation, Muhammad started preaching a new religion, which is known as Islam. I hope you all have drawn this and have written answer also. Now move to the next question. What kind of government did pre-Islamic Arabia have? And what was the society like during the pre-Islamic period? So first question is, what kind of government did pre-Islamic Arabia have? Pre-Islamic Arabia did not have a centralized political rule. Okay? Now, the next question is, what was society like during the pre-Islamic period? Society was divided into clans or tribes. These were nomadic tribes involved with trade and grazing of cattle who constantly fought with each other. Move to the next question. What were their religious practices? As I told you, religion in pre-Islamic Arabia was polytheistic and idolatrous, which means people believed in many gods and idol worship. Now the next question was, what economic problems did they face? Since the Arabian Peninsula had desert-like conditions, basic resources were hard to find. As a result, the tribes were constantly at war with each other over resources. What sort of childhood did Muhammad have? Muhammad was brought up by his uncle, who was a merchant. He born in a wealthy family in Mecca. So he brought up by his uncle, who was a merchant. Now, bonus question of the day is, who recited the entire Quran to Muhammad? For this, read the section and you will get the answer. Why was there a need for reform in Arabic society? And which experiences of Muhammad helped him to think of ways to reform society? Think about this. Society in pre-Islamic Arabia was divided into Bedouin tribes who were constantly fighting with each other for resources. As a result, there was a need to bring people together. Muhammad traveled to places outside Arabia where there was social order. The travels allowed him to see how an organized society could progress better. He later meditated to find ways of helping society and received a revelation. Did Muhammad face any oppositions for his teachings of Islam? And why do you think it was so? Did Muhammad face any opposition? The rich merchants and local leaders were against Muhammad's teachings of monotheism and no idol worship. If pilgrimages and donations to the Kaaba stopped due to these ideas, they would lose their way of earning money. They also would not have wanted to lose their high positions in society. So that's why Muhammad faced oppositions for his teachings of Islam. Now, today's work is in the workbook, finish S1, and in the notebook, answer PQ1, practice question 1, 2, and 3. Also read the section Advent of Islam. Now have a nice day, children. Stay home, stay safe. Bye bye and thank you.